I don't know if this is going to be a long video or a short video, but I'm going to talk about the ins and outs of this build. Now, besides the pickups, no modified bricks literally at all, besides the pickups. So you can build this and just use a battery box, should you so desire. And you can just build whatever you want for the vehicles for that. But I'm using the ball and socket. So there's the ball joints on both sides and the sockets go connecting to that. So that's one side. And let's grab this one. And then there's the other side. So that's it, right? So this could be a battery box. You have to make it 8 wide, but whatever. So you can do that. Absolutely. Of course, now it comes completely apart because I'm showing it off on TV, which seems to be its want. But it's been working exemplary for a while. And well, it's apart. I guess we'll do this. Take this off. Take that off. Take that off. So here's the motor. And of course, it's got studs. Now, it's not perfect, which is we'll get into. So what you needed to do is, in order to get this ball and socket, I wanted the studs to be resting on top of the block so it can't go down. Now, I was just thinking about this. Hopefully I got one in here. Maybe that'll fit. It does fit. So now it fills in that little void down there too. So a tile wouldn't do it because the studs are now resting on the black. So this thing, the blue here is taking place on the other side because the other side has, of course, the electrical connection. So so this comes off. So now you don't want that. You want it to stay on. So we'll do the other side with the electrical connector. I'm just going to grab another wire because that would just be easier for me if I can grab this wire, because the other one's built into the pickup. So here's a regular wire, not zombified, because I fixed that. So we go like that, and then so this goes on the bottom just like that. Ta-da! And then I'm going to find another two. Okay, so now both sides have a ball connection on each end. And I used the 1x4 ball connector because the 2x2, of course, would stick out farther. If you want that, not a bad idea. I've tried it, but I was trying to keep things close. And this one has this bar that connects the ball to the 1x4 is the longest one, basically the longest one out there. You could use a 1x2 with the ball connector, but it's really tight, and I needed the space. So this is literally the first time I've ever, besides building a set, an actual Lego set, this is the first time, and I'm sure other people have used them already. I need, oh, this is annoying. Maybe it's already in there. So, I keep on singing the McDonald's theme. I don't know why. It's not like I like McDonald's. I do like McDonald's. So this is the first time I've ever used these 2/3 rounded back end 2 plates. It's not a brick, because they can like point these stud in various directions. And I did that because, again, I mentioned the very extremely unfortunate part about this entire build is that when they designed the monorail motor itself, it's not completely accurate to Lego stud geometry, which is a pain. From here to here, you would think it'd be exactly 6 studs, but it's just slightly proud of 6 studs, like not even a millimeter, not like a 1/2 millimeter. You can see this gray piece is just sitting proud of this angle piece, and the same thing on this side. This gray piece here is sitting just proud of this angle piece. So this is exactly 6 studs wide, and from here to here in the gray is just slightly bigger than 6 studs. It's not even the thickness of this thing. It's not even, it's probably half the thickness of this thing, but it's enough that you can't, these 6L pieces are under tension because they are, but put them on there, no, thing's not going to come apart. The pieces are not going to come off the 4 studs because now it's physically joined this way by these nice little 2/3 plates, double plates, and so I'm using them there just for that. Instead of using a headlight brick or whatever, I'm using these bricks to make it look nicer. And then I built a nice little cover, and this worked better than the original because the covers come straight down to the top of that 4 2x2 stud connection on that side and 2x2 stud connection on that side with the wires. So they fit perfectly right on top. So now this is lower than my original that I have at the Brick Shack. I think it's 1 or 2 plates lower than that, and it still holds the motor inside. Let me just drop that off. I don't know why that decided to take a fly loop. I don't know where it went. It's on the phone. You know, every time I make a video, stuff like this happens. Oh, there it is. Okay. So now, tighten everything up. And there you go. Love that logo. Now, the unfortunate part for me is that that little white and little, like this thing is lower here on this thing. So in order for this thing to not interfere, I couldn't put a 2x6. I wanted to put a 2x6 there, but it was hitting this part. C'est la vie. I live with it. And the rest of it's just filler. Like this is exactly a 1x1 void here. And so what I was doing is I was putting 1x1 non-headlight brick, but 1x1 with stud on the side. Put it there and put that there. Because I'll show you this in a second. So now I got the 1x1 bricks with stud down. So this is a horizontal. This is a snot build. Sure, Dave's building snot. So and because that's there, and let's just grab this piece for a sec. It's already on the other side. Now we can even add more reinforcement because of course you got these 4 studs there and those 2 there, so you can put it to hide the black, and then you just put this tile on top, just like that. I did find, this was easier to do with these pieces on. This is why this is almost like, I'm not saying a Simon Lou build, built together with a stud of prayer. But it is slightly finicky, and I, you know me, I'm not a big fan of finicky in the first place, but in the end, if it's gonna work, it's gonna work. So now the headlight bricks, or not the headlight bricks, the 1x1 brick with that on one side and at the top, is connecting to that 2x4 tile, which connects to the 1x2 underneath, and the 2x2, all this stuff on top. So this now hides the black, those 2/3 rounded brick plate things, whatever people are calling them these days. And then this goes on top. And it's fully enclosed. And these things don't come off, which is what I wanted. Because I just didn't want this thing to come apart on the tracks. So now you have a motor that has connectors, 2 connectors on it. And so you can just, again, with this thing, you put that together like that, and it's together, and it's perfectly in line. So in the end, I'm happy. So far, it is not too shabby. I do find snot building, I start developing cracks because there is some tension there still. Because again, this is 6 studs wide, and this is slightly more. Well, no, it's the plates on, but it's slightly more, or the tiles on it. Like you can't push it together, whatever. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it, but this is what I got so far, and this does look reasonably decent. I was literally trying to do the old school way of doing it with just a shroud came down on top, but I couldn't find a way of blocking these pieces in nicely. So what I tried once, by the way, instead of doing that, I'll show you this really quick, is I don't think it's gonna do it now. Oh yeah, we'll do it now. If you want to keep, if you want to keep a 4 wide, you can just put a panel there, so it is still 4 wide. That works, right? And then you can just cover the top with whatever you want. So a panel. Let's just show you the other side because this is kind of neat. Another panel over here. And you can see, because of the panel, you can see that there's a little gap there, and that's a teeny tiny gap. Now you say, but Dave, you still have to put your thing on there. Yes, I do. So you get and then you put this on here like that. And you put, I had one for the other side. I don't know where it went to. Over here. Yep, right there. So now you got a little tile there, and you got a panel in there, and then you can hide everything in there just by doing stuff like that. So you can just build that up as much as you want and hide the entire motor that way. And it's 4 wide with these tiles inside. That's good enough too. It's a lot smaller, right? And just put a cap on top, whatever you want to put on top. So this connector method to the monorail seems to be fine. It is running. I'm going to make another one of those on this guy, and then I'll have 2 sets of pickups, which will stop the jittering when it's not connecting anymore. I will try to find, and you can see, yeah, there's little gaps there. It just drives me crazy. And that's honestly solely because they didn't, the company who developed the monorail did not make it perfect Lego geometry. So it is what it is. It's so close though. Like, they're not under a lot of tension, but they're under tension. And then you get these gaps up here. But again, do I want to really put more effort into this? No. So anyway, yeah, so that's what I got. I have to get my Dremel out. I have to cut, I'm gonna make a 2x2 electrical connector on 1 wire, so I can have one connected to the motor, goes to the front and goes to the back vehicle, and then it would connect onto this guy here, which I'm gonna make a lot shorter. So in the end, I honestly can't complain about this. I'm going to, but I honestly can't. I find this to be really decent. Again, because of the electrical connectors, that's the only modified part now. This whole thing is completely not modified parts at all. And this would just connect to a battery box. If you wanted to go to a battery box, well, you would have to go to a battery box. But so this is my addition to the monorail idea, that you want to get rid of this guy, because they do tend to wear out, and they get, did I glue that thing? I did glue that thing. I can't believe I did. Huh. I glued this piece 1x4 to this 2x4, so I can see my little ABS glue in there. But yeah, to get rid of this, and this one still has the nubs on it. You can see it a little bit right there. But a lot of mine are completely wearing out. This top one is not hardly there at all. So the ball and socket replaces that. Now, of course, the ball and sockets will get dusty after much use. I thought I had one here. You can see the dust on this guy here. The plastic dust is normal. They wear out, but these things I can replace because I got lots of them, and then Bricklink will have lots more. So, but the other guy, this guy, very finite supply, and I don't mind losing them. So I'm going to now, well, I'm going to go to bed now, but I'm going to, when I get back down here, I don't know when that's going to happen. When I get back down here, I'm going to rebuild this entire thing from top to bottom and build a brand new, this train, this monorail train. So I'll actually have 2 copies of it, when that's dead and over there, and hopefully one that's working here. I did notice when I was rebuilding these parts and pieces that I have a better way of building it now. so I am gonna rebuild all these, and I have a few spares, so I can build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A 7-car monorail plus motor, so 8, and that's nice. It's not going to be the 15 that I once had. I did find that I put up too much strain on the motors. I have in the past, and I'm not saying I regret this, but I have in the past, I think overstressed my stuff to make a better show, because 15 cars is cooler than 8 cars. It really is. But that's one little monorail motor pushing that around. If you look at, I think it's Christmas Train Show 2010, it's basically the square that Jeff and I built. I have a 6 section monorail train that I ran for a while on that motor that's still in there behind. But I think that's just too much for one monorail motor to push around. These things are lighter, they're smaller, but still. I'm going to downsize, scale, because the rest of the trains are not nearly that long, and I'm thankful for that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be rebuilding all of these to this back here, and I will show you what I got afterwards. So that's it. Well, 17 minutes, I didn't expect that, and no tangents from me to you. So that's it. That's all. You guys all stay safe. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.